Hi everybody, welcome to the first episode of CINEPRESTO. This is me, Preston. This is Brendan right over here. Say hi, Brendan.
Hi.
We've done this for the third time now, so this is our third time recording the intro, so
Can't tell if you're acting or if you're being serious.
No, I'm serious. Anyways, welcome to our first episode. I'm Preston.
I'm Brennan. You already said that.
Oh yeah, right. Anyways, welcome to our show. Basically what we do here is we go interview cool people who have actually followed their dreams and actually made it. Okay. Our first interview was with Varney, aka the Avatar, aka the most awesome person in the world. She was very great and allowed us to interview her for a quick 15 minutes. We hit all the points we wanted to get to. It was a very quick interview. We didn't have time to get to everything, you know, but still pretty freaking awesome.
I hope you guys enjoy this interview.
That was great. Good job. That's a lot better than me. Hi there, Preston here, and this is the first episode of the Hidden Angle Show. Today we have on a very special guest with us, Varney, who's gladly taking the time to just come out from her busy schedule from Sketchfest to be here with us. And I bothered her so much she got stomach poisoning at this point.
Yes, it was you, Preston.
It was all my fault. So I wanted to instead. I can't even reach for the things. I wanted to bring you something to kind of make up for that. I got giant chocolate things right here.
Oh my goodness!
And
what is going on right now?
Because I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna have to bother her.
Oh no! Oh no! I talk about this on my podcast all the time. These are the very best.
That's the sponsorship right there, guys.
Oh my gosh,
this
is so nice. And you know what else is that the second I put these down, they're going to be grabbed by every single one of our amazing performers who are here at Sketchfest this weekend.
Then you better eat them now during the middle of this, right?
Yeah. That is so cool.
And I can't eat them, so I mean, there you go.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm allergic to peanuts, so.
Oh,
now everyone knows how to kill me already.
No,
so yeah,
I know.
That's the first step. Well, anyways, I want to start the show up because you know. It's always been my dream to become a director / voice actor eventually one day, and I just wanted to start up something, you know, where I can go talk to people, you know, that are in the industry, and then just sort of figure out how to actually do that myself one day, you know, eventually, and just learn about from your experiences, and then share that with other people. So
great.
That's just the general idea for the show, and I just want to get us started off, you know, and yeah, how's your day so far?
My day's been completely crazy. I'm not so much thinking about voiceover world right now because I'm in the middle of programming this comedy festival that my partners Dave Owen and Cole Stratton and I founded 14 years ago. And this is our final weekend. We have a bunch of events going on, but it's been really great. We have a really amazing staff, and I love the city of San Francisco. I love the audience numbers are really terrific. It's a busy, bustling day here at this hotel where people are having loud conversations while we're shooting because it is what it is. But I welcome you guys. I welcome you. Do you want to cross behind? I'm sure that's totally fine. I'm sure anything you want to do is totally fine. In fact, you can cross right in front of these kids' cameras. You can do whatever you want to do. It's all you. It's all you. Yeah, so that's the... Listen, there's something happening at every moment. Did we just
scare off all the comedians?
I think we might have, but I didn't mean for that to happen.
Oh my God.
You heard me. Everyone heard me welcome them. I didn't like pat my lap for any of them to sit down, but short of that. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm up to right now, but you know, there are some core fans here who are also big comedy fans, so I get to see some of those guys when I'm at shows and stuff.
Yeah, it's really great. And you started this comedy sketch fest, like, you know, here in San Francisco, you know, because you were going here as a student at the time, right?
I was, yeah.
What really made you want to start that around here, especially since, you know, most of the entertainment industry is all in LA and everything, so. Yeah,
well, at the time, I don't think I had any real intention to move to LA, and I was doing sketch comedy with 3 other guys, the 2 people that I mentioned that that I founded the festival with, and then one other person who ended up going to do his own one-man show. And while we were kind of on a break from doing the sketch, that was sort of what gave us the opportunity to, I'm just looking at this, making sure, gave us the opportunity to kind of put this festival together, which really was just 6 different groups, including ours. We rented a theater for a month, we put it on as a festival, and we did really well, and so the next year we did it again, and that time we brought people in from all over the United States, and we've just been building it from there. But it's really a very classic example of something that, you know, you don't necessarily know what you're doing, but if your heart's in the right place and you are really a hard worker and you're willing to learn from your mistakes and ask people who know better than you about how to do something, then you can kind of build something from the ground up. And I was just saying to someone earlier today that I feel sometimes like I have a little bit of an out-of-body experience where I go, how did this happen? Do I really know what I'm doing? You still feel that way, and I think that might be true for everyone sometimes. Like, when I do voiceover panels at big conventions with people like Rob Paulson or Great Allow, people who are just doing voiceovers and everything, and they've been doing it forever. I think there are a lot of us, especially creative people, who kind of can't ever trust or believe that things have worked out the way they have. And so there's still this element of wonder and kind of like, people going to suddenly figure out, like, I don't know what I'm doing? But I think that's good to hear, from famous people, because then it inspires those of us who aren't to think like, well, it's not like they have something inside them that I don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like, you're kind of like us. We still have our doubts, obviously, about this, business and everything, and then we're still trying to just check ourselves and make sure that we're okay, through all of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was wondering, you brought a lot of talent from LA, but I just wanted to know like some of the other places where people are from. I saw, I think Gary Anderson upstairs, and then Kristen Shaw was upstairs too.
Yeah, we have a lot of New Yorkers. We have some Canadians. Sometimes we get some Brits. We have people from Chicago. A lot of people from the Second City world. And then smaller colleges. There are people who apply who are students who are doing sketch comedy, and we give them the opportunity to submit material, and we look at all of them. There isn't anybody looking at that stuff except the three of us, and when we agree on something, sometimes one of us will think someone's great and we'll fight for them, and then we'll bring them in, and sometimes all three of us are just like, perfect, we love them. But we really try to give those voices the opportunity to be heard and seen, and to hang out and learn from people who've been doing it a little bit longer, who maybe are a little bit better known.
So when you were as a student back in San Francisco, when you started at the Sketch Festival, is this really how you got started, and everything after that, comedy, acting and everything?
Yeah, not so much acting. I was doing that from when I was little, not professionally at all, but I just mean like in all my school plays and stuff. So I did kind of want to pursue this, but then when I moved to San Francisco, I wasn't really planning on it, to be honest with you. I really was working kind of in more grown-up jobs, I like to say, and that was sort of a thing I was doing for fun. So for it to evolve back into work, sometimes I see people like that I went to junior high with or something, and they'll just be like, you did it! And I'm like, no, you don't understand. There was a 10-year period when I wasn't doing this at all. It wasn't my goal, and it feels like I kind of stumbled backwards into show business in a way. But I'm glad it happened.
And you just sort of fell back into it, right?
I mean, we were doing this for fun, and then it just evolved into something that ended up leading me to work in Los Angeles and stuff. But I still love San Francisco, so I love having a reason to be up here.
Every year, it's the best excuse just to come back, right?
Oh gosh, absolutely.
Like, what was it like taking that first step to try to move to San Francisco and everything?
Before I even moved here? Well, I was living in Arizona. That's where I was born and raised. I was living in northern Arizona, going to school there, but I had always wanted, ever since I visited San Francisco at 13, I really wanted to visit it. So I visited when I was 13, and then I really wanted to move there after I visited it. So as soon as I felt like I could afford to, I'd saved up some money, as soon as I felt like I could afford to move here, and I was able to pay like first and last month's rent, honestly, I just got jobs here to establish residency, and then I went to school here as a resident. So I had to live here a full year before I could afford going to school. But that's what I did, and I went to a very cheap state school. I mean, shout out to San Francisco State, all due respect.
My cousin's
great
school, going there,
but
so,
it's affordable, and that's a huge difference than going someplace like Carnegie Mellon for acting, where you end up with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student debt, which is kind of the reality in some ways for a lot of people.
So yeah, it's great though that you could just make it from basically cheap school, and then you still do whatever after that. You're not limited by your school basically. It's the final end game and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're living in a climate now where it's harder and harder to get to a good school, but I also feel like I have tremendous faith in people's ability to learn on their feet and get on-the-job experience and think creatively and just not let anything like that stand in their way.
So just do things, basically, right?
Just do things.
Keep doing things.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should submit something one day I can perform here too. Yeah.
Go for it.
Fun,
Don't submit this interview though, because that
this would be the worst thing.
No, I produced.
You would look at, you would be no, right? Just immediate no.
Who's that one girl? Why is she acting? She knows what she's talking about, I would say. Yeah.
Okay then, and because of course the core fans are watching, always. They're always watching us.
Gotta love them, Coronation.
Pretty much. I was wondering about, like, just a personal question. What was your favorite episode of the entire series?
Oh gosh, boy, that is really hard. I mean, I don't know if I have a complete answer to that, but I'm also very, very deeply influenced by Mike and Brian because I respect them so much, and I know Cora Alone was a really, really, really important episode for them, and it was a really important episode for me. It was really, I think for me, one of the episodes that connected with people the most, and it connected with me personally too. It's really the ultimate kind of lowest point, and how many of us have been in that position where, you know, whether it's literal or metaphorical, we really feel like we do not have what it takes to make that next step. And then we do. And so I thought that was a really, really amazing episode, and I thought it really represented the fact that, and I've said this a million times, but the fact that Mike and Brian, they know what they want, they know the story they want to tell, and they know that their audience is bright and sensitive and, you know, loyal and intelligent, and that they don't want to just see a story that doesn't matter. They want to see something real represented in this fantastic world.
I was about to say the same episode, basically. Yeah.
You were? Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, it has to be Cora. I had to predict it.
So
yeah,
emotional.
no, I got the chills the entire time I was watching it, and I completely related because, like, about exactly like 1 year ago, like my foot was lost, and then I was just like, exact same thing. You're watching your big toe move and everything, but I mean, the entire process of that was like, was it emotional for you when you were recording and everything?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You know, the writing is so great, and the direction that we get either from Andrea Romano or from Mike and Brian, they're so respectful of our work, and I think, you know, to be in that booth by yourself, just trying to find that truth and emotion, it's so much easier when you have it all there on the page, because the character's been built for you leading up to that point. You know, there's so much to pull from behind you from the history of the show, and but yeah, it was emotional, and also I knew, you know, I always knew it was only going to be 4 books, but that doesn't mean that when you're, you know, in the middle of the 4th book, or you're starting the 4th book, or what have you, that you're not emotional about knowing it's going to be over.
About having almost being over and everything, right? Yeah, and now everyone's sad because, you know, it basically ended in December and everything. Now, that's the question, though. Would you like to do more? Because everyone loves you.
Would. Yeah, everyone knows I would. Mike and Brian are the ones who are off doing other things now as much as they love. You know, they just poured their heart and soul into that show. So they have no life outside of it. So for them, you know, they just ran an intense marathon. They're not jumping into another marathon. They're like soaking in the tub, you know. So, but I mean, they know that, like, they could ask me to do anything, and I would say yes. I just think they're the best there is.
Okay, and there's a prequel apparently coming out, so are you doing work on that?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, then.
Other than that, I hope there is one.
Me too. And then Netflix, maybe, that people just talk in the air about that, but it's great that you're still going for it. Are you still thinking about, you know, doing any voice acting, you know, after, you know, this and everything? You said
there's definitely other stuff that I'm working on. There's, like, little voices I do here and there on other shows, but I'm what I'd love to try to do is do a little bit of anime. I'm really a fan of, you know, that part of the job, and so that would be really fun. And I just, you know, I'm continuing to do conventions and stuff because I love meeting the fans. So that hasn't really, people say like, oh, what does it feel like now that it's over? I'm like, well, I'm going to like 4 conventions in the next 6 months, so it doesn't feel like it's over.
It's never over. They're always watching forever. They're gonna be on you forever.
I'm totally fine with that.
The last bit I really wanted to ask you is, if you actually sign this, because what I'm planning to do at the end of the year is have an omaze. And just sort of, you know, have people, you know, auction off for these items that I collect slowly over the year as I build this up, and then we'll be able to donate it to, you know, some charity that we figure out by the end of the year.
Absolutely.
That'd be great. Yeah, it's got too much stuff. This is
no, it's totally fine.
This stuff now everyone's watching.
It's totally fine. Are you gonna film me signing it? I'll try to make my signing as elaborate as possible.
As she signs, I wanted to tell the story about my reaction when I got an email back from her. I was basically sitting at home the previous day. I was doing a podcast about, you know, the last episode of the show. You know, me and my friends were, you know, really big, and then we were just trying to, like, oh, what can we do? And then I was like, what if I interviewed Janet Varney? Like a stupid. And I just sent you an email, and I was just like, I'm not expecting a reply back. Next day, I'm sitting in the theater at The Hobbit, you know, and then I pull my phone. I'm about to shut it off to go silent. And I'm like, oh my god, the Avatar on me.
It's true.
That was
my his email.
And that was just my weird reaction. I was trying to, you know, entertain it in the theater, and then everyone was just
that's
like...
like when I found out I got the role, I was pretty excited and I was in public, so I can relate to that.
A little bit. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, you know, I encourage everyone to get in touch with me, and when it's too crazy and it's too much and I can't, you know, meet up or do a podcast episode, I feel terrible about it. I don't want
I
to
hope I
think that
didn't
I'm just like,
guilt trip you in this,
whatever.
right?
Not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, it doesn't mean that I don't value and respect, you know, the work that everyone's doing. It's just a matter of making it kind of all fit.
Yeah, exactly. The time and everything is just so ridiculous. Yeah. But, and then you got your podcast, JV Club, right?
I do, the
shout-out for
JV
that.
Club, yeah. It's on free on iTunes, on Stitcher. It's on the Nerdist Network. I mostly interview women. I just interviewed Seychelles, for those of you who are horror fans. And I talk a lot about what people's adolescence was like. And then I also interviewed some guys. Like in the summer I interview guys. And I interviewed Mike and Brian.
Yeah, I saw that episode too. Yeah. Or listened to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you saw it in your mind.
Yeah, I just imagine you guys in the room in animated form, just sitting there.
I would watch that, maybe.
Yeah, somebody should animate this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, but congratulations on your first episode.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much for being the first guest.
Thanks
You're
for
great.
having
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Thank you for
Have a good
all my
one.
treats.
And then, good luck.
Thank you.
Preston fading out. See you guys.